Hello, how are you today? My name is Cody Michael. I work in a raw material business. We roam the world looking for the best raw materials to help develop holistic medicine like herbals and vitamins for holistic centers around the world. The only country we don't use is China because Chinese raw materials contains a lot of heavy metal. According to Mike Adams, who's a biochemist who tested many raw materials from China and found out that they contain about 10,000 times more heavy metal, higher amount of heavy metal than California Prop 65 allows. So, and we avoid all types of synthetic vitamins because they don't work. Your body and mind is carbon-based. Synthetic vitamins made from chemicals, carbon and chemicals, they don't mix like oil and water. So it took us time to learn where the raw materials comes from. We had to fly to every country, go to every mountain, every region, every valley, hire local chowmen or experts and agriculture engineers to help us find the raw materials we want in each country. And that was a long, costly rabbit hole that we went through. But we did it, and we have met amazing, great researchers. We dealt with holistic centers. We have watched many presentations on health from each holistic centers, what their protocol is like, why did they develop this protocol, what works, what doesn't work, and you start to see the difference between one holistic centers and another, why a chowman in the jungle of Mexico can heal up to 70% of cancer, but Gerson Center in California can heal only up to 50% of cancer using holistic and homeopathic nutrition and diet protocol. So there are difference. There are researchers that unknown to many of us that we have met, that they have done amazing research. They have passion. They love what they're doing, and they are biochemists who just doing it for making a living. So today I'm going to tell you why that this knowledge that we have learned can help many, especially in the Gulf region, help lower healthcare costs. By the way, this video for informational purpose only. Yesterday I was listening to YouTube, and there was a program showing that the obesity in the UAE is one of the highest in the world. And of course, eating Western man-made diet, using the same Western medical system, healthcare system, what do you expect? Look at America, what happened to it. Our healthcare system and back home in the USA, it's $5 trillion. Healthcare expenditure exceeded the $5 trillion we are right now in 2025. And there are many programs on PBS and others, from Dr. Mark Hyman to Dr. Joel Kahn to Dr. Furman to Dr. Gundry, etc., talking about this big problem, the food we eat. Now, let's compare what's going on in the UAE compared to Canada. Canada is next to the United States. Many of the Canadian foods comes from the United States, especially cereal that's full of artificial sugar and artificial colors. But they don't have the same obesity like in the UAE or Kuwait, or maybe in Saudi Arabia. Now obesity is growing very quickly. So, because they demand from these cereal companies to remove the artificial colors. The United States right now, with President Trump and RFK Jr., trying to fight these big giant chemical companies and their lobbyists and their tentacles that are everywhere in the United States system, because they all work together. The junk food companies, the chemical companies, and big pharma, they're all together. Okay, there's actually a report on that. Chicago in court was produced more than 6 years ago, more than 3 million pages, and I can show you how they work together. We're with Philip Morris to create addictive food. That's not food, poison actually. So what we end up learning so much, dealing with so many holistic doctors, raw materials, where it comes from, what raw materials is better. Like for example, we used to supply many research centers. One of them in NASA through through Tom Hopkins contractors or subcontractors, and they used to test these products and tell us, well, this contains, for example, broccoli, 1% sulforaphane. We want something at 7 and 8 and 10%. Well, if you get broccoli for one city or one region or one country, it's not the same like another broccoli from another country. So the earth and the soil is like a chocolate vein. It has different concentration of nutrients. A tomato in Greece contains about 9 times more iron than a tomato in America or in California. That's why when you eat the tomato in Greece, it tastes delicious. That tasty tomato stems from the density of the iron and the lycopene, which most of the tomatoes in the West, in the United States, now lack because it's a GMO product, and you would have to add salt and lemon and vinegar and to make it taste decent. When you eat a fruits that looks good, or vegetables but don't have any taste to it and you can't even smell it, it's telling you there's nothing in it. I mean, God created everything to have a smell and a taste and a scent for a reason. Okay, so going back to our main subject, why did the UAE or Saudi Arabia government health ministry or Kuwait or Bahrain or Oman, which is, I know that they're suffering from the same health problems that UAE is suffering because of the sanitary lifestyle, everybody in their cars, everything's air conditioned, it's comfortable lifestyle, they're eating lots of junk food, Starbucks, McDonald's, Burger Kings, they're eating all the cereals in the United States that's sent to them, and etc., etc. I don't know why, and I don't know why would they wait so long to do something about it. And what they're doing right now, according to the program that I watched on YouTube, showing that they're going to the same doctors who gave them the same Western medicine to try to lose weight. And of course, we know about now Ozempic trying to sell their new Ozempic product, which has been proven by a researcher and scientist with Tucker Carlson interview with Collie Means about how dangerous these drugs are. Because Western medicine and Western healthcare system and MD doctors are not educated how to keep you healthy. They're educated just to try to treat a disease or keep a disease at bay or manage diseases, all right? So this is what we do. We go to healthcare centers around the world who use homeopathic medicine and holistic and Ayurveda medicine. Some will use all that together, and they look and see the research and the results when their patients go to their clinic, what happens compared to the Western medicine. And the cost is less than 10 and 15% what it costs to treat people with Western medicine, which is mostly they never get treated with anything. They just have additional diseases because of the side effects of the medicines they're using. So today in UAE, what if I can tell you that most, if not all, sorry about that, there's a Buddhist temple behind me, and when you hear the crackers, it means people donate money, and when they donate money, all the bad spirit goes away or flies away. Okay, so start new life. So what we have learned, we can extremely help build a team with a short time and bring all this research together and make it into a package where we can help use it for the people of the UAE or Saudi Arabia or Kuwait. And we can show within 2 or 3 years, if you treat, let's say, 20 or 30,000 people, what's the results you will get, and then what's the cost compared to the Western medicine, and how much more you will get for your money, the ROI or the return on investment. So, for example, we found out that there are certain nutrients, learning from all these research centers, from Tom Hopkins University, they worked with NASA research, they work with Los Alamos research. Many of you don't know these research because these research considered under a national security, and they don't allow to be published out there that easy. So we have access to this, all right? So it shows that obese people will get more diseases from heart, diabetes, blood pressure, etc., than non-obese people as a result of obesity. And they have tested certain nutrients. If you add to your food vitamins and minerals, you add them to your food on a daily basis, they will help stop some of these diseases up to 80% and 90% that stems from obesity. So while someone is trying to get healthy and get back on the health track and lose weight, which takes 6 months, a year, 2 years, maybe for some people, you want to try to help prevent them from getting all these diseases that will cost so much the healthcare system, will cost that person, his family, and save money as much as possible. This is what we can do. The contracts recently were signed with the US government. Great contracts with the President Trump, trillions of dollars. If less than 0.1%, which is about $100 million, devoted to put a team together, and we can help do so if you would like us to be part of that team, to bring the best experience, the best research. It's already been done out there. You don't have to do any more research about nutrition or vitamins as some so-called health expert talks about, the FDA or physician. It's already been done, okay? So if we can put that together as a package, and we can show how much money the healthcare system can save and how much more people can benefit from the system we're going to put in their hands. A protocol, a simple diet, a simple what not to eat, what to eat, and a nutrition protocol at the cost of less than 10% what the government spent on healthcare system, which is mostly in the Gulf region, is subsidized by the government. If not 100% is subsidized by the government for their own citizens. So if we can help show you that we can help bring back many of the sick people and obese people to health, to a normal, good health that will lower the healthcare costs on the government and keep the healthy people, even make them healthier, okay? With less than $100 million to put all this package together, all this experience, and then you will have a package ready to sell to the world, and you become the biggest contractors of healthcare system in the world that working with other healthcare system around the world to lower their healthcare system based on the model that we have already established, whether in Saudi Arabia or Qatar or Bahrain or UAE or Kuwait. So the reason you need $100 million because you need about $25 to $30 million to establish the best labs in the world. The second thing you need about another $20 to $30 million to make sure that you have access to all the raw materials that we know where to get from around the world, that you have contract for 10, 15 years, that these raw material we can get you, whether it's broccoli that contains up to 10% sulforaphane, not 1%. We know what region, what area, what city, what country we can get it from. Whether it is the extraction process that we need to be done, whether it is the clinical trial, all that stuff. And also you need to hire the top 10 to 15 researchers that who already had done their research and have their own healthcare centers, and they can put their knowledge together and make it into an easy protocol to understand and follow, that we can help, for example, make an app. That app will follow each patient according to their custom protocol, and will let them know what to eat, what to take, what not to forget to take at this hour, at this lunch, after lunch, before lunch, etc., etc. We can do that for obesity, for heart, for skin, for anti-aging. Could be done very easily, and put the whole system together with about $100 million budget or even less within 2 years. And with the third year, you will have an absolute proven system that you can sell to the world, that could become the second revenue, GDP, for your country after gas or oil. Because the biggest expenses in the world right now, and most of the countries around the world, are healthcare budget. And no one is looking at this now. Everybody looking oil, gas, another opportunity, another satellite, another idea, another app. Healthcare is where it is, and people are willing to spend everything when they get sick, because when you are healthy, you can roam the world and dream a million things and want 1,000 things. But when you are sick, you only want one thing, because I've been there. I've been sick. I've been in a hospital. And I changed my life. I had to change my diet. I had to change my thinking. And I used my anger against the failing healthcare system we have, against a physician who understand only take this pill, do this surgery, do that surgery. And every time you do surgery and you take medicine, you get worse and worse and worse. And I'm talking about my own health experience. So I took my anger and turned it into fuel and start learning about the nutrition business. And I became one of the maybe 50 or 60 people in the world that roam the world looking for raw materials to help find it and make it available for holistic doctors like maca from the mountains of Peru. We have 3 types of maca. We get it from a source that we signed a 10 years contract. It's called, and we found out that maca has 3 types of maca. There are 3 types of maca: red, yellow, and black. We didn't know that. How do you know that? You know that when you start traveling. You know that when you start learning. You know that when you start listening instead answering. You know that when you listen to people who barely can speak English, but they have so much knowledge. You know that when you get sick and you fall flat on your face and you say, if I'm gonna live again and God's gonna give me another opportunity, I'm not gonna live the same way I lived before. There's a reason why people need to learn from my bad experience. And a wise man will learn from other people's bad experience and change their life. So you can never change what you can tolerate. And I say to my brothers and sisters in the Gulf region and the health ministry, please look into this. We can help you save billions of dollars within 3 years on your healthcare system. And we can maybe make your healthcare system a model to the world where you can sell it and it could be the 2nd biggest revenue after oil and gas. Cheers to your health. Cheers to your life. God bless you all, guys. My brothers and sisters in the Gulf region. Look at this life. Look at this beautiful. We're on the top of the mountains overlooking the ocean. And this is a private club right here. Tennis, basketball court, pool, jacuzzis, gym, about 11 restaurants all the way around there to that, till you reach that 5-star hotel where the Queen comes a year to vacation, and that's your helicopter pads. That could be your life. This could be your life too. Adios.